Paper money had now entered American life. Banks held only a fraction of the gold they claimed. People trusted the paper because they had no other choice. And for a while, the system looked stable, elegant even, but underneath, the math was dishonest. A bank could take your gold, then lend out the majority of it while still promising you full access. That is fractional reserve banking. Imagine this. You deposit $100 in gold. The bank keeps 10. They loan the other 90 to someone else. That borrower spends the 90 and it lands in another bank. Now that bank keeps 10% and loans out the rest. Suddenly, your original $100 becomes hundreds of dollars of promises. More money exists on paper than ever existed in reality, and every dollar created this way is born through interest, through usury, which means someone, somewhere, must pay back more than what exists in the system. Greed rewards this structure. It was designed to. Enter Andrew Jackson. Jackson wasn't a scholar, he wasn't an economist, he was a fighter, stubborn, suspicious of elites, and shaped by a life of hardship. And he hated the idea of private bankers controlling the nation's credit. By the 1820s, the first bank was gone, but a new one, the Second Bank of the United States, had taken its place. And at the top of it was a man who represented everything Jackson distrusted. Nicholas Biddle was the president of the Second Bank, sharp, confident, and fully convinced that America needed a powerful central bank run by men who understood credit, currency, and monetary policy. He believed in centralized control. He believed the nation's financial system should be in the hands of experts. He believed the bank should guide the economy, even override elected officials if necessary. And Biddle had the tools to do it. He could restrict credit, he could loosen it, he could trigger recessions or calm them. He could decide which banks survived and which collapsed. When Jackson challenged the bank, Biddle didn't retreat. He used the bank's power to fight back, tightening money, cutting loans, and pushing the economy toward crisis to prove the bank's necessity. To Jackson, this confirmed everything he feared, that the nation's money was controlled by a small circle of elites, fueled by profit, and built on a system rooted in usury, not honesty. This wasn't just a political battle. It was a collision of worldviews. Jackson believed in hard money, independence, and limiting elite power. Biddle believed in centralized authority, controlled credit, and management by financial experts, and at the center of it all was greed. Because the bank's influence didn't come from creating real value. It came from creating money out of debt, then charging interest on that debt. A system built on usury will always produce conflict. It will always elevate people who profit from manipulating money, and it will always provoke those who see it as a threat to liberty. Jackson ultimately destroyed the bank. He pulled federal deposits and refused to renew the charter. He believed he had defeated the monster, but the system didn't die. It simply decentralized. Local banks printed money recklessly. Speculative lending exploded. Fractional reserves became even thinner. Greed didn't disappear. It spread. And America soon plunged into the panic of 1837, one of the worst financial crashes in its early history. A reminder that destroying one institution doesn't destroy the underlying engine of usury.